New stuff.
All right. Gentlemen, start your engine! Drivers, start your engines!
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Remember when I told all my drivers, reach up there and pull those belts tight one more time? Drivers, start your engines!
And gentlemen, start your engine!
And welcome back to another episode of the Green White Checkered podcast. I am Andrew, joined with Zach, Joe, and Austin. We're here to talk about Daytona and all the playoff implications within the last week. There's a lot. We had penalties. We had a first-time winner. We had, just everything. We had guys getting in wrecks left and right. It was a crazy week. So let's just start off with, honestly, I think we need to start off with Denny. Denny Hamlin gets penalized for his engine got tore apart before NASCAR looked at it. It sounded like
it got rebuilt.
And
it was a winning engine of his got torn down before NASCAR could inspect it, and Toyota hit the self-report button on that, and that's why they got penalized.
Yep.
Yeah. So it was a big penalty. Somebody didn't put it in here, and I should have.
A lot of points. It takes in just like 100 points or something like that. Yeah. And 10 playoff points and some monetary thing. It was big.
75 driver points, 10 playoff points.
There you go.
And I know there's more to it, but that's
for
money. The team.
There's money a monetary fine.
Yeah. They will appeal. I don't know if they'll get anything.
Are they appealing? I thought they said they weren't going to bother.
Oh, I heard they were.
I don't
know.
Then he didn't make it sound like his podcast. I mean, I guess he said something like you could, but it's like kind of what's the point? The rule's black and white.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they really are. Maybe
worst luck ever for Denny.
Maybe
Hamlin.
appeal to try to get some points back or something, but I don't think they'll.
I don't know how bad. If it was that bad for self-reporting, how much worse would it have been for
if they did?
Sort of found out.
I don't know. I don't know if the penalty is just the penalty, or
in which case, why would you ever self-report though? You know,
well, I think they're going to find out anyway.
They're going to find anyway,
yeah.
But like, you did it, what if they didn't? You know what I mean? Like, what's the point if the penalty's the exact same?
I guess
the risk you take.
Yeah, you roll the dice, and you're like, well, it's going to be the same whether we tell them or not. So let's just see if maybe somehow they miss it. So let's hold off. Yeah, I don't think that. I'd like to imagine there'd be a stricter penalty for being found out versus self-reporting. Otherwise, there's really no incentive to self-report.
I know.
Yeah. Moral high ground, I guess.
So that changes our whole regular season winner, just the playoffs in general.
Yep.
Just took Danny right out. We also had the Austin Dillon appeal.
Final appeal.
It was with just upheld. And so then Richard Childress says, we're going to appeal again. And guess what? Nothing changed again. So
yeah.
Penalty stands as deserved.
Thank goodness.
Okay. And let's hop into Daytona. We had the Cup and Xfinity series there, and trucks were at Milwaukee. So Cup race. It was crazy. We had a first time winner with Harrison Burton pulling out the win over Kyle Busch.
Mm-hmm.
This changes the playoffs for, Ross and Bubba. And I don't know. The 21 back from Buescher right now. Bubba is. It's possible, but man, that's getting pretty good for him. I think Buescher's, unless if like Ross or Bubba can pull out a win or somebody else, but I don't think Daytona is one of those tracks that you can really have as prize winner. I know Eric Jones won one, but
Darlington.
What did I say?
You said Daytona.
You said Daytona.
There's any track where you can have one.
Daytona. Daytona, anybody can win. Darlington,
as we saw,
tough track.
Yeah.
So, how are we feeling about this win and in, Zach?
I don't like it. I never liked it. I hated it.
Harrison Burton, 34th in points, is now in the playoffs.
It's absolutely silly to me. Like and the biggest defense I could hear, I saw from it like on Twitter and various podcasts coming from like NASCAR people is just, well, we all know the rules. These are the rules. Well, that's fine. Yes, they're the rules, but doesn't mean they're not dog shit. Like, yes, it's a rule. It's how it works, but it doesn't mean it's not stupid. I don't understand. And there also seemed to be like confusion, like people were acting like people were mad at Harrison for winning. Like, no, I don't think anybody is upset that Harrison Burton won. I don't know how you could be a NASCAR fan and not kind of like the Wood brothers getting a win, especially their 100th win. I mean, they're like the oldest team in NASCAR. So I feel like everybody can kind of feel good about seeing them get a win. And they locked into the playoffs. You know, that's all fine and dandy for them. Like, nobody's mad at them. We're mad at the system because the system sucks. 34th in points should not suddenly leapfrog. It's the same thing with Austin Dillon. Like, he was 32nd going into Richmond?
Something like that, yeah.
Like, you should not leapfrog everybody and be able to run for the championship. Like, the whole idea of a playoff system is it's reserved for the teams that have the best performance over the course of the season. That's true with NFL, NBA, NHL, all of them. But when you let somebody into your playoffs just because they won, like, I don't know, it dilutes the whole thing. And it's like, we really don't have the 16 best competitors fighting for a championship. And I just don't like it.
Yeah. I would like to point out as well, Harrison Burton is still 34th in points, even with the win.
Phenomenal.
And if we had the top 30 rule still in place, I don't think he would get there because he's like 50, 60 points back at 30th. So I can just go into my, like, because you mentioned the sports ball reference. You know, it's like, you know, I'm a Panthers fan, unfortunately. We won 2 games last year. It's like if we go into the last game of the season, we had the 1 win. We won on some Hail Mary on the last game, and then we got into the playoffs. It's the same. It's like we did not deserve to be in the playoffs in that scenario, and neither does the 21 team. Yeah, great win. Like, happy for Harrison, his first win. You know, his dad got to call the race, and, you know, I guess Penske gets their more money, or Wood Brothers. But this playoff system sucks. I hate it.
Yep. We talked a little bit about it last week where we're kind of saying, how could we fix this and get rid of the win and in? I said like 100 points for the winner.
Do it.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's enough to have a big impact, but it's not enough to just lock you in.
Yeah. And I mean, I could even say 150 points would be enough, but the win and in is just a little too much.
It's silly.
Yeah.
I mean, then you can. Oh, go ahead.
I think we talked about this before, but I still don't understand why we got rid of that 30 rule, like top 30 rule. Like, I mean, that makes it a little bit better, but now it's like, that guy's part-time. Never mind. Who's the guy who finished, like, who pushed Harrison to the win? Parker
Retzlaff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, what if Cody Ware won that race? You know what I mean? Like,
oh, God.
And now he's in the playoffs.
That's actually what we needed to have happen. And then NASCAR
honestly, but that's
the internet would burn down.
I'm not, you know, I know that people have mixed emotions on the playoff system. I personally have my qualms with the playoff system, but overall, I think it's, you know, not a bad thing. But this is where, like, Zach, you make a great point. Like, the idea is to be your top teams, your top people competing. And whenever you get guys like Harrison in there, which, no offense, is basically a easy first round out. Like, I don't know. I mean, unless you want to kind of treat the round of 16 like a wild card game, right? Where you get these guys who are in by the skin of their teeth, like Harrison, who with a win. What if they make this Cinderella run in the playoffs and luck into a win in the first round? Now we have this storyline going of Harrison making it to the round of 12, and he's somehow points into the round of 8. Like, that would be exciting. The issue is, I don't think we've ever seen that. We've gotten close, I think, with McDowell. I think he almost made it into the round of 12 one of the times he was in it. I think it was I forget what year it was. It was like I feel like I remember him making it close to that round of 12. That'd be exciting, but I don't think that's the only counter argument I can think of to that is treating the round of 16 almost like a wild card spot.
And I just want to add on to that. We have Atlanta in round 1 and Talladega in round 2. Both are super speedways. So
exactly.
Theoretically that could happen, right? Where Burton lucks his way into 2 more Speedway
Yeah, but
wins.
does that say what does that say?
It
about
won't,
your
but no,
championship?
I'm not saying
that
I
at
like.
all.
I'm not saying I like it. I'm just saying this is what NASCAR is saying. Like, oh, Burton got in by the skin of his teeth.
Cindric wins them both.
Oh my
Cindric
god!
wins them both, or there's
Daniel
Watkins.
Suarez wins at Atlanta and Talladega.
There's
Like, God, it's so
I
bad.
hate that. I hate
I
that
know.
idea
There's
so much.
there's a
I
road
agree
course.
with what Drake's saying. I like the idea, and this is like where they were talking about like the seed argument. Like I kept hearing this, oh, it's like the 16th seed being the first seed.
No, it's not.
It's not that at all. Like if you go into the playoffs, Harrison Burton is not going to be racing against Kyle Larson, who would be the number 1 seed, right? Harrison Burton is racing the 12th, 13th, and 14th. Well, no, 13th, 14th, and 15th seeds.
Yeah.
Like he's not racing, like it's not
Yeah.
lining up like that. But what I like is if you get like, if you actually go by points, I believe, like I think I forget what the points actually looks like. I know Kyle Busch is in 16th in the point standings, which was surprising to me because I thought he'd be way back. But like, I mean, you have a situation like that. Like, say you just went off of points, then you can really see an opportunity for that 16th, 15th place guy. Maybe he gets hot and just goes on a run in the playoffs, and then you could more realistically have that storyline of the bottom seed guy coming in. And I mean, because we all know Kyle Busch could just all of a sudden turn on any week. Who knows? Maybe Darlington, he just comes out and goes out and wins. You never really know. So I think that opportunity of that bottom place guy making a deep playoff run is there if you go off of points. But like Harrison Burton, I looked it up. His rookie year was like what, 2022?
That sounds about right.
So 2022, he finished 27th in points. 2023, he finished 31st. This year, he's 34th. Like, I just don't see him making that magical run unless we just load the playoffs with freaking super speedways, and then it's just that's even worse.
Yeah.
So
well, I mean, almost a counter argument to my counter argument. It's also, do we even want to see that? Do we want to see a guy who's run horrible all year luck his way into the Final Four? Like even the round of 8 if he wins Atlanta and Dega, you know what I mean? Like, is that really something we want to see? Because we talk all the time about like, someone like when Kyle Larson was on top of the world winning like every other race, we were like, imagine he doesn't win the playoffs because of this, like the way this system works, and he doesn't win the championship because he's had this dominant season. So imagine it's that season, Harrison, but then plug in Harrison Burton winning Daytona. Now we go into Super Speedway Atlanta. He wins that, and somehow lucks his way into the Final Four. Somehow wins, all this crazy stuff happening. And we're like, holy crap, the guy 34th in points just won the championship. But
I would hate it.
I'd hate it, but also like, I think that's kind of a cool story. You know what I mean? Like that's like the team that barely finished over 500 wins a wild card game and then wins the Super Bowl. Like,
so
but they're not 500 though.
No, not at all. But also, who is 500 unless you're winning half the races? Yeah. But I guess the equivalent is being top 20 probably. But
so here's my thing though: do you want to have guys that actually have a chance to compete every week, where you have like the top 16 that have actually raced their way in, or do you want to have a Cindric, a Harrison Burton, a Suarez? I mean, they're not going to make it. They're not even competing in the round of 16. So I don't know. I just feel like it's more prestigious if everybody raced their way in.
Yeah, I think you retain the integrity of the championship, and we
deserve to be here,
right? And then I think if you do that, I can really get behind the playoff system because I do like putting the teams in a pressure situation where they need to worry about facing elimination and all that stuff. But I don't like the idea of like I said, Harrison Burton taking 16th, and we all just know he's just gonna be eliminated in the first round. Like, where's the drama in that? Like, if everybody's there on points, then they're all pretty close in speed and consistency. So it's like there's gonna be, I don't know. I just think it'd be more entertaining for me personally. I mean, I guess the winning in is like, oh wow, look at this. Anything can change. It changes everything kind of thing.
Yeah.
And even back to the like March Madness comparison, the 16 seeds still won their conference to get there.
Right. That's the other thing.
Yeah, it's not like they were like an 0-30 team that somehow fumbled their way into the tournament. Like they still won.
You got to qualify in.
Yeah.
Yeah, they won a race, qualified in.
There it is. I guess.
I guess it is.
But also, winning a race in NASCAR is harder than winning a football. Because you have a 50-50 shot of winning a football game. Theoretically, you have a 1 in 42, whatever 38.
I want to see Carson Hocevar go out on a football field by himself and beat the Chicago Bears. Which one's harder now?
Well, he could probably beat the Panthers. So
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying like to win against a field of this many people versus an entire season to win a single football game.
Right.
You know, which is really hard for the Panthers, but
well,
but we did do it still last year.
We did it
just
twice.
the one. So.
We got twice.
Yeah, that's right. Twice. We're gonna get at least
60 some people think that they can run a NASCAR race.
Yeah, I remember that.
Well, no, it was 6% of people think they can win. I think it was like I don't think it was 60, but it was like a high like 30 or 40 thought that they can drive
like 35. Yeah,
can drive a racing lap in a race car, which I don't know what that means. I mean, I feel like that's not
at speed. Speed.
What's a race car? First of all, like you talking Miatas, I feel like I could rip around a Miata, a little spec Miata.
Honestly, give me the next gen.
Am I going to be close to guys who actually do it?
All the downforce.
The
thing that they want you to run like at speed. So say if you get stuck in the next.
I mean, Cody,
you got to qualify top 20. You got to be mid.
So that's your at speed definition because that's the confusing part. Where is that? Could I run?
You got to qualify for the race. How about that?
I don't think I could do that. Qualify for the race? I don't know. Depends where. Martinsville, no, absolutely not.
Charlotte.
I mean, like Daytona, I think you get a good car, you qualify for the race easy, right?
Yeah. But that's why I'm saying Charlotte. You got to go out there and actually.
The thing you got to think of is like what is the person thinking of when they think I can drive a race car or I can even win a NASCAR race? Like, I mean, if you're thinking of Daytona, the 34th place guy just won the race. So, I mean, you have an okay car and just stay out of shit. Who knows where you find yourself? Now, are you going to be good and like actually be able to take advantage of runs, that kind of thing? Absolutely not. No, you're not. But could you luck into one? Austin Dillon has a Daytona 500 win. So
because he wrecked somebody.
It's true. So, I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, the 6% that thinks they can win a race, those are iRacers. So
yes,
in reality, 0.5% at most could actually do it.
I think anybody could luck into one at like a Daytona, but to actually win one off of skill.
I don't even think that. Like,
no.
I've watched people drive down the highway and they can't drive next to a car, and you expect these people to drive in a pack inches away from you.
Maybe not anyone.
200 miles an hour. I don't think so.
No. I'm one of those that thinks that super speedway racing isn't actually a skill if you like can compete. Like your Ryan Blaney, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Dale Sr., Denny, all these guys that
good guys get cleaned out.
Yeah.
Then you got Harrison Burton and Parker Retzlaff up there.
I'm just saying, if Kyle Larson, Joey Logano, or Brad Keselowski is near the front of the field, drop to the back. Kyle
Larson doesn't have any top fives in Daytona, does he? I think I saw that stat. Is it super speedways or just Daytona?
I think the stat was just Daytona, but he's not the greatest.
Cody Ware has more top fives at super speedways than Kyle Larson.
Brutal.
That's crazy.
That's a crazy stat.
That is. All right. Well, we had a couple big wrecks.
Sure did.
Oh man, we had 3 of them. We had one with Corey LaJoy. Just I don't know.
Good Lord.
I mean, he's pushing. He's getting pushed. Everybody's getting pushed. Causes a big one. I mean, don't push the pusher, right? This is don't push the pusher, pushing the pusher, pushing the pusher. I don't know. That took out about, I think I counted 15 cars. I didn't know who to give it to for the kill count, so I'm wiping that out.
I don't know. I could go either way because like
I thought about giving him half.
Call it like recency bias or whatever, but it just seems like as of late, Corey's been struggling and getting into issues. So it's like because of that, I'm like predispositioned to say yes, it was his fault, but it could have just been a thing.
He almost LePaged the field as well.
He did almost do that.
He did. That Todd Gillen in car was terrifying.
Oh my god!
Because he was going down there. He just had to like whip it over.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
That was something.
I don't know what's going on with Corey, man. Give him a drug test or something. I mean,
give some concussion.
Something's going on. Like, he's so different than he has been.
I feel like he's just in this state of mind where he just has to try so hard, and it's just it's biting him.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he's trying to prove something that's hard to prove whenever you haven't been in situations that he's been in before, potentially.
Mhm.
In a car that's not built for those situations too. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still, like I said before, it's getting harder to be on Team Corey, but I'm still on it. I'm still on it, but it is getting very hard.
He's making it harder every week to see him back in a cup ride, let alone any ride.
I forget where it was, but I saw a theory. Somebody said like that they think Corey like conspires, obviously spending money, they're showing more speed, they're getting faster and all that stuff. So I forget who it was, but their theory was basically that Corey's been used to being in dog shit stuff for so long that he's had to like push it and drive a certain type of way. And now he's trying to do that when he doesn't necessarily have to as much. So like just over driving it and just getting himself into bad positions. So I don't know if that's what's going on or what, but
yeah, I mean, I could see that, but I thought the car was okay last year. I didn't think it was dog shit last year.
I mean, they've been
So-
improving year on year.
Yeah. I think now that he has teammates that are quick, he's
Now
kind
it's
of got a
Really putting the pressure on, especially being Carson Hocebar, who's a rookie.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And Zane
So-
Smith seems like he's sort of finding his footing, which
Well,
more news about him, unfortunately.
Yeah.
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 All right, Rec 2. Cindric pushes. It was McDowell leading, right?
Yeah.
And
Penske push lives on, baby.
whoo, man.
I mean, I don't know if you put that. I don't know if you fully put it on Cindric, but
Nah, it's Cindric.
what?
I mean, yeah, for sure it's on Cindric.
No,
I mean,
it's totally.
Why wouldn't you put it on Cindric?
I mean, he moved down and moved back up. It seemed like he got hooked when he came back up. Like he was moving around that front line a bunch. But also, did he move because he got pushed down? Like that bad push on the right rear that pushed him down? I don't know, but I mean,
Anybody got a replay of that handy? I forget what even happened.
I'll be so honest. I forgot the race was Saturday night, and I was at a bar for my friend's birthday, and I kept seeing it on the TV. I'm like, I guess qualifying's on or something. And then I got home and I saw Discord popping off. It's like, oh shoot, it was like a McDowell wreck. And so I did not catch that part, to be honest. But in the highlights I watched, it did appear to maybe potentially not fully be on him.
There you go. I found a highlight.
I mean,
just skim through it.
It's Austin Cindric. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Your opinion here does not matter, Austin.
I just want to.
I could not.
He did not
even
get
have
put now.
swapped it.
Okay, hold on. Now I'm going to get defensive about this since you're coming at me here. He moves that they're entering.
He gives half a car lane up top.
No,
half a car lane.
he does, but then McDowell does turn farther down into the corner. Then he comes back up,
I feel like it was a push.
and then
kinda
he
pushed him low.
the very tip of his bumper clips the very front of Cindric, and that's what turns him.
Wow.
This is the wreck
Austin.
where McDowell like flips, right?
Yeah.
I still haven't felt it yet.
Gets up in the air.
But
yeah.
again, it's fully on Cindric because it's Austin Cindric. So
Yeah, I know. That's where I was trying to go with. It's Austin Cindric, and he's wrecking McDowell.
yeah. So obviously, in my unbiased opinion, McDowell moved down and
Yes.
back up, and so he got wrecked by Cindric, and it's Cindric's fault.
Okay. I don't know.
I mean, Cindric does move up, like
I see
watching it.
McDowell not really picking a lane, if anything.
yeah, but Cindric's also kind of farther up from the lane too. Like I don't know what's going on there. I think they both just kind of ran out of line, and then McDowell moved up to try to fully take and get back in front of Cindric, who is like half a car length up from the 4 car. I don't know. I think obviously it's on Cindric, but truthfully, I think kind of a racing deal, but I think still more.
I'm putting it on Cindric from what I'm
yeah,
watching.
of course.
I don't know.
McDowell's in the third lane, and Austin's kind of like
He's in like the
looking-
2.5 lane.
it's the third lane, and Cindric is look at the cars in line. You got the 34 in a lane, the 2 sticking his nose out, and then whoever that is, third, I think it's Barry, is more in line with McDowell. I'm putting it on Austin Cindric because fuck Penske. Next topic.
Oh man. So McDowell kind of gets up in the air. He did get punted in the side by I think it was Joey Logano.
Mm-hmm.
This is 2 weeks in a row we see a car get up in the air. Obviously the LaJoie was a blowover last week. This week it was assisted. But that brings us to big one number 3. Josh Berry gets upside down and pounds the wall upside down.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
think I've ever. Has that
That
ever
was brutal.
happened?
I think
That was a hard hit.
I mean, it's happened. There's one. Matt Kenseth had a really scary one at Talladega one year where it wasn't like a blowover, but
his roof hit the wall.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
He
I
landed
remember
roof
that
side
one.
down. And then, I mean, of course, if you want to talk about blowovers, Brad Keselowski, when Carl Edwards wrecked him, that was
Or
a
Carl
pretty
tried
scary
to
one.
kill
my boy.
Brad.
Yeah, that was a pretty bad one.
That was
That's one of the worst wrecks I think I've seen. Honestly, like the roof caved in.
That's
I
bad.
thought Brad was dead.
Yeah, that's
instantly I was like, oh well. There
well,
it
yeah.
is.
I was scared for Kenseth too, just because of like hitting the roof like that is definitely sketchy.
Yep. Well, it sounds like these cars are pretty damn safe, though, from what all the drivers are saying. That
I don't know. I keep getting like mixed. People are saying they're safe. I guess they're safe on rollovers, but it sounds like because like Denny even said he'd rather roll over than hit in the wall. So it's like, well, it can't be that safe.
Well,
the rollover
that's just the
protection
dissipation of energy there. You would rather roll over and lose the speed and all that than hit a wall at full speed.
Yeah, I still don't think this thing crumples up that great. Like even just looking at Barry's impact, like that was a hard impact, and then those does.
Well, what was Denny's at Richmond? Said it was the hardest impact that he's ever had.
Mm-hmm.
And it was. I mean,
and that Richmond,
hooked,
not like a super speedway.
Yeah. Just I don't know, kind of crazy to think about, but yeah. So Josh Berry, I couldn't tell by the replay if I think it was Cindric was right there. I couldn't tell if he was kind of pushing him too, but
I mean,
more of a blowover.
Definitely a blowover. I don't think Cindric had any impact. I mean, I'm watching it right now. You can even see Cindric's car starting to try to lift up a little bit.
You know what it is? It's the fucking chicane.
Okay. Last week is the win. This week it's the chicane.
No, watch it. Even go watch John Hunter's spin. He gets, left reared and spins around pretty quick, but he doesn't blow over, but he hits that chicane and the car lifts up. So
do we think no grass made that a better wreck or a safer?
I think so. If he blows over once and doesn't catch it.
True.
Richard Petty,
Which Priest's blowover looks exactly like Barry's. And I remember then we thought it was the fact that there was grass there and there was like a dip and maybe the air got under it. And maybe that was part of it. But man, you get these things pointed in the right direction and that air starts rushing under that diffuser and them channels, it just picks them up.
I have to look at the Priest one again because I think it was the same thing. I think he went over the chicane, and when he got off the chicane and onto the grass, that's when
there was like a drop there. So like right when the air really started getting underneath the car, there was like it's just like a little shelf because you're on asphalt and then you drop to grass. So like at that point is where it took off.
Yep. So
that little right was that little right rear spoiler fix didn't really work, I guess. Whatever they did.
Yeah.
Whatever they did.
We made this part so rollovers won't happen anymore, or blowovers won't happen anymore.
We made this part like in the 11th hour and crazy.
I mean, good for them for trying, I guess, but it didn't work.
Yeah, so Priest hit the beginning of the chicane, and when he went to the middle of the chicane, that's when it lifted off. So when he dropped from the concrete to the grass. So I don't know if there's maybe just a hair banking there. But yeah.
Get rid of the bus stop.
Dude, I don't think Josh Berry's at the chicane when he flips.
Really? I'd have to go back and
more
look.
Middle back. He's like right. I'd say he's probably like halfway down the backstretch. I don't think he's at the chicane yet because I don't see the markings. I do see the markings where John Hunter Nemechek spun out, but I don't see them where he is. Yeah, I don't know. I think just once you get these things pointed at just like the right angle, there's like channels that come out of the side, and I think the air just rushes underneath there and lifts it up.
See, Priest is pushing there though. I don't know. Yeah, you could be right. I don't know.
So maybe at these high speed tracks. I mean, Daytona. What do you need a diffuser for? I can't think of a reason.
Air. I don't know. You don't need the downforce.
No. So I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I'm team no downforce on these cars anyways. We have too much.
Hell yeah, we do.
So just take it off. Take the underbody off. Let's see what happens. Fuck it. And we've been saying that for short tracks for how long now?
Mm-hmm.
Just NASCAR listen to us. We'd solve all
I
the
know.
problems.
All right.
They obviously listen to the podcast.
I know Jim France listens.
Who won it?
Yeah. Yep. It was Joe saying that we needed a Mexico race, and bam, look at what's happening.
Look at what we got.
Freaking Joe.
Got a Mexico race.
Man, I'm just watching Barry. He is just hauling ass on the roof. Like, oh
Dude.
my god.
Yeah. Like, and I was trying to think, what's a way to slow a car on the roof down before it hits the wall? It's like, you can't.
There isn't
It's-
one.
Short of putting a parachute in the back and pressing the button, I ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah, I mean that's.
Could you imagine that they put parachutes on the car? Oh, this guy's spinning.
I mean, really, that's the worst part about it, right? Is that there's no control. You have nothing. Like, I mean, I think our cars, even older generation of cars, have proven rollovers to be fairly safe. I mean, God, we all thought Ryan Newman was killed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, not to say he was fine. He definitely was hurt. But
yeah,
I mean, it could have been worse. Like our cars from like the roof integrity standpoint, I feel like have been really good for a while. But yeah, when it's just sliding into that wall, my God.
I mean, Ryan Newman's, the roof caved in a little bit.
Yeah.
I think they fixed that after, right?
They added a bar.
Yeah, they added a Newman bar.
Another one.
Oh yeah, that's right. He had one before.
You got the Earnhardt bar and the 2 Newman bars
Didn't
now.
Joey take some, like, didn't he? What happened to Joey at Talladega one time?
He had a flip at Talladega like two or 3 years ago. I think it was the last year of Gen 6. And he was all
I think it was the year
about
before
that.
the last year of Gen 6. Or maybe you might be right. You might be right. But
Is
anyway,
that when
irrelevant.
they added the bar under the bar?
Yes.
the Joey bar.
That was the Joey bar.
Yeah, did Joey cry about people wrecking in this one since he was a part of one? Because I remember anytime he's a part of a wreck on one of these tracks, he always wants to go cry.
He cries about it.
He was. I did see him.
So unsafe. We need to stop running this kind of races. And
I did see him talking about how we need to, I don't know, control the pushes or do something. I don't know.
It's so funny anytime one of them.
I thought he said something about like these cars are still flipping too much. Well, it's like, dude, do you watch any NASCAR? Like, yeah, the cars shouldn't flip, but like every generation of car flips.
They're trying to fix it though.
I think I don't like that argument of they're always going to flip. Like, yes, cars are always going to flip, and the last thing
miles an hour if you turn the right way, no matter what you got on that car, it's going to flip.
The last thing I want
and flip
is for NASCAR to say, "All right, we're running 300 horsepower now." Like, no. We need to go fast. We're supposed to go fast. But if there's a component on the car,
when it happens, like with Barry, it was fine.
Yeah,
right. But I think what you can do is look at a specific, like if it is in fact a diffuser, look at that and see what you can do around that area. Like, because cars are always going to flip. It's just going to happen.
Yeah.
Here we go, Zach, using this to push his agenda about no diffuser.
I'm just saying, even if it's not, even if there's another component, I don't know, say the right fender, let's air under it, and let's figure out what is actually causing the blowovers and try to solve that. Not do some
the easy fix of slowing them down so they don't flip, which just ruins the product.
Like it's already annoying to me how I don't like how slow these things are. I mean, slow. These things are. I don't want to say they weren't slow before, but they just seemed like more of a handful back in the day.
I mean, in Michigan, they did the test and they were hitting 225, and now we've changed the cars to where we're doing.
Oh, you're talking about the Gen? That was like a Gen 6 test, I think, with Gordon.
Yeah,
you're talking about the thing with Jeff Gordon? God,
he
would have been on ass. That would have been a sound, huh?
I would have loved it.
Oh my God. Yeah, they said I think I saw something. There was an engineer or something that was a part of that. He said he was doing like 225 at the end of the straight and like dropping down to like 170 something in the corners. Oh,
perfect. That's what we need.
That would have been amazing.
All right. As long as NASCAR's not treating it like our short track package, they're actually working on the blowovers. I'm cool with
Figure
it.
out the actual problem and fix it. Don't make us go 150 miles an hour. Don't do that.
Yep.
That'll be so bad.
All right. Lee Diffie in the booth has a great call to end the race.
Amazing.
Jeff, your little boy's going to do it.
Yeah.
I can't
beat it.
It was amazing. It was perfect.
Can't beat it.
Everything I saw from Lee in the booth was just top notch.
He's so good.
He's got so much energy. He clearly knows the sport, has done his research. Like some of it, again, like from the little bit I did watch live, he was like throwing out like stats, and maybe he's, I'm sure he's probably getting fed this stuff too by the people behind the scenes and everything. But
sure,
he hasn't won since whatever, and back in this year at this track, and it's like this is for his first. Not his first NASCAR race, his Jenna Fryer got
yeah.
really defensive about.
Did you see how butthurt she was getting? Because
Oh yeah,
it
dude.
out.
Oh,
She's
hilarious.
the worst, dude.
Oh yeah. Anyway, but
She can't just
you know,
say my bad. Like
yeah, yeah. For you idiots who don't know what I mean, I'm clarifying. Anyway,
yeah.
but it like for his first time back, I guess like it was cool to hear how well he did and just the energy, man. I mean, compare that to any finish with Mike Joy and Clint Boyer, and you're like, I mean,
And
night
Harrison
and
Burton
day
wins
difference.
his first race,
And
and
Harrison Burton.
brothers.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
But
it's amazing how much that adds to a broadcast.
I forget
yeah.
what article it was, but someone was saying that like Lee, he keeps up with NASCAR, like he watches races and all that stuff. Is like Lee knows wheel. He didn't just
motorsports guy.
he wasn't just fed all that info. He knew what was going on.
Knows
I
his
mean,
stuff.
if you ever listen to him call an Indy 500, you knew how good this is going to be. Even if you didn't watch any of his previous NASCAR stuff before, like he's just so good. And I say it all the time. It's my biggest bitch about Fox is the broadcast job is to tell the story of the race. And if you do it poorly, the race is going to suck no matter what. But he's so good at it. Like it's just amazing. Like he just brings it to life.
It's like you have to treat the audience like a toddler where they react how you react. If something's boring and you're like, oh, this is boring.
Well, it's why they got laugh tracks on sitcoms.
Yeah.
Right? It's to make things seem funnier, right?
It's why people think Friends is funny. Is because
exactly.
I mean, Fox treats us like children and toddlers, but
in a bad way.
In a bad way, yeah. They don't want to overexcite us,
Yeah, everything bad I've seen about Lee Diffie is just his British accent, which is not a British accent. He is Australian, so your argument is bad. All right, before we move on to the next race, make sure to like, follow, subscribe. Give us those thumbs up on YouTube. Everything helps. It gets us to the races, which gives us better content. Yeah, need it. Reviews too. Yeah. All right, Xfinity race. Lap 1. Big wreck. Let's take out half the field. Let's take out Austin Hill, the favorite. Bunch of guys. Why are they? I don't know. It's the iRacing thing. Why are you racing that hard that early? Makes no sense. But Ryan Truex wins, and there is still 4 races left until they start the playoffs.
You think Ryan Truex gets a full-time ride at some point?
Dude, I thought he was getting
a lot.
I thought he was getting it this year, but then they put other people in the car already.
Yeah, he's won a few
every
times.
Every time he's in it, he's winning or he has a chance to win.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to put him in the car and possibly move him up to Cup when Truex retired. I guess it was last year. I thought they were going to put him in the car, but they didn't, and he's still showing he can win.
Here could be
they filled the rides already.
He should get a full-time ride, but if not, maybe because I know Martin Truex is still going to run some, do a all-star car with them for Gibbs or Dale in Xfinity. That'd be fun.
He might. I can see it. All right. But yeah, 4 races left in Xfinity. To put that in perspective, Trucks just had their first playoff race, and the Cup has their final race next week. Why are we doing this? Let's start
weren't they all the same during
like 3 years ago?
I thought it was the COVID year. They were all lined up equally.
Maybe because their schedules get all
Yeah. And that whole year just kind of out the window. It doesn't really count. Yeah.
But I mean,
I liked it though.
Mickey
They
Mouse
made
year.
a big
big
event.
Well, I say it every year. Like, I don't understand why you don't start your playoffs for the same. Like, once we figured out how good Daytona was for your playoff cutoff race, why do they not just do that or your playoff end of regular season race, whatever? Why don't they do that a companion weekend, all 3 series? It would be like it'd be such a good tie together for the regular season because you start the season at Daytona and then you finish the regular season at Daytona, and they all start their playoffs at the same time. And it's all, you got this parity, everything's going at the same time. Now it's like all confusing. They all start at different times.
And then you don't have the pit crews having to go from Daytona to Milwaukee over a morning.
I don't think they do. Well, maybe, I don't know.
Some did. Some did.
I could see it.
Some even drove. I saw, which was crazy.
Oh God!
Yeah,
Daytona to Milwaukee overnight.
Yeah, geez.
I had been Xfinity. I could see Xfinity team.
Yeah, Xfinity. I see that. Yeah,
but I don't know. It's just you could like make such a big deal about it too. Regular season champion weekend. Where the hell you want to call it? Come up with some snazzy name. Like it could be a big thing with some fanfare and all that, big exciting.
Yeah.
But no,
I mean, I know it's Daytona, but you're definitely selling it out. I mean, it'd be a big event.
Yeah.
But yeah,
do a
so Ryan
doubleheader
Tracy,
trucks and Xfinity on Saturday, or no?
Ooh.
Friday.
I guess
See,
you
I
can't do-
like having the Friday,
that.
Saturday, Sunday, or
do a
let's go back to
doubleheader with
Thursday
Cup.
night truck races.
Maybe you could do Cup and Xfinity Saturday. So do like a day race for Xfinity, and then do the Cup race at night, and then trucks at night on Friday.
There you go. I'd
Something
be
like
fine
that.
with it. Yeah. Lane Riggs wins truck race at Milwaukee. He then proceeded to blow his shoulder out during the celebration. Dislocated his shoulder.
It's okay.
It was crazy. Like he's up there pumping, all of a sudden he's just like, ugh. And his team comes over, helps him down, and then they pop it in place. He sits there for a second. He's like, yeah, and starts cheering again. It was like, never seen anything like it. The Milwaukee Fair Board said no more trucks, though.
Sad.
We saw the last truck race at the Milwaukee Mile until they probably get new people in there.
Tough.
So it's a good track. It really is. It was weird because when you say think Milwaukee Mile, flat track, where do you see them racing? Just a low lane, right? All over. They were running high, they were running low, middle. It was like, what the hell is this? I liked it. It was a good race. We got anything else for Daytona or Milwaukee?
Bummed Kyle Busch didn't win.
I should have wrecked him.
Yeah,
he tried.
I think
100%
that was on him losing that. He got so far in front there.
I don't think Kyle's never been like a good. I don't want to say he's not a good play track racer. That's not true. He's not a good like line controller. Like he's really good at positioning himself and finding a way to be in a good spot at the end. But like he's not like Brad K or Dale Jr. like out there controlling lines and stuff like that. He's never.
Yeah, he just got
making a pass.
He got so far in front. You saw Bell sneak up and get close to him, and then he realized he was too far up, so he inches it back, and then Kyle's just completely up there to dry. Meanwhile, Parker and Harrison link up, and
I wonder how much hell Parker Retzlaff caught.
Oh man,
because I saw somewhere like the spotter said, "Do not push that Ford to a win" or something.
Yeah. Well, you got to think that's an RCR car.
Yeah.
So
surely he caught hell.
Whoops.
But
yeah,
whatever. I get
Good
it. You're
finish for
young.
well.
You want to show up and show out. That kind of thing.
I think he wanted a chance to win it, and by just sitting back, it's not going to get it. He ends up finishing 6th or 7th because he ends up bouncing off the wall. But I mean, he's young. He's going for the win.
I needed a Cody Ware caution on that freaking lap, that last lap.
Yeah, good luck with that. All right, let's move on to news. Big one came out earlier in the week. SVG is going to race the number 88 for Trackhouse in the Cup Series. And Zane Smith is now released from Trackhouse, which he had a multi-year contract that is apparently voided now.
Contract's just a piece of paper.
Yeah, contract's a piece of paper.
Zane's been running pretty well the last couple of weeks. I mean, not great, but top 20s. And then he finished 7th at Michigan, 13th at Daytona, 17th Indy, Chicago 17th. Oh, he got a 2nd place at Nashville. Yeah, he did. He almost won it. That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's really been turning it on lately.
Yeah, but he's now looking for a new team. I don't know. I thought he was going to go possibly FRM, but apparently Ford's not too happy about how he left Ford.
Yeah, I saw that. That's
tough.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if he doesn't go back there still, though, because I think that he's been on that team in the Truck Series. So I don't know.
He's won him how many races? And
he was running the Truck Series in that truck.
Ford would be silly not to do that.
Yeah, I mean, where else is he? What other seats are open right now?
We're getting down to it.
Yeah, nothing really.
Running out of rides here.
Yeah,
have to put a list together. But yeah,
Ford did pass on Kyle Larson too. So Ford has made bad decisions before. It's been known to happen. But yeah, I'd be kind of surprised, I guess. But I think the biggest problem I have is Justin Marks was like giving an interview, like talking about SVG. Oh, it was an easy decision. Like Can you make it sound like you had to
Dude.
think about it?
Yeah, really.
Yeah. I mean, in my mind,
I
it
get
is
it.
because
I
SVG's winning
get it.
races, right?
Well, it's not just that. There's like a whole marketing thing to it, right? Like you have like this
Yeah.
international pool. There's
You just
big
sound
attention on
like
it,
an
all that
asshole.
stuff.
Yeah, don't sound like a dick.
I'm saying it was a very tough decision, but we had to go this route.
Yeah.
Because what? That's fine. Don't say it's easy. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Like, that sucks.
Yep. I think Zane will be okay. He'll find a ride. I mean, if it was 10 races ago and you released him, that guy's screwed. He's, gonna end up the bottom truck team or something like that. But he's been running well. I think he'll get picked up. NASCAR's eyeing San Diego for a
San
street course.
Diego.
It sounds
That
like
would
there's
be-
a bunch of them. I thought there's like
Yeah, there was
4 or
like 5
5 of
other, but it sounds like San Diego's the one that they're really focusing on.
That's cool. I hope they
SoCal back in the
embrace
market.
us a little more in Chicago scene too. At first, I mean, I guess at the end, Chicago kind of was excited, but
Yeah.
it seemed like the first year they were like, we don't know about this whole NASCAR thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And NASCAR announced they're going to Mexico in 2025. It will replace one of the Richmond days.
Good.
Yeah. And then they're
Good all around.
racing at the F1 track. And I think they're taking out a couple corners, but it'll still be a 2.5 mile circuit.
Yeah.
I think that's
Xfinity's run there. It was a good track.
Does
I
F1
enjoyed the
sell that
races.
place out?
Well, I'm
Surely, right?
sure. Especially
Do you
for
think-
Sergio.
Do you think NASCAR sells that place out?
No.
They-
Well, yeah.
I think
Yeah.
they do pretty well. Probably
I think
not
it'd
F1, but
Could be a really interesting comparison.
Yeah,
you got Suarez, so
Yeah, I was
you'll
about to
have,
say Suarez.
you'll have all
And
that.
don't they have a Mexican NASCAR series?
They do.
Yes.
I think, yeah,
So, I
they
mean,
do.
I
It'd be kind
think
of cool
they're-
to see one of them hop in.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I think that'd be awesome.
I mean, if
big
they're
is
smart,
Project-
they'll be doing a companion weekend.
Yeah, do that
That's-
Project 80, whatever it is. Not the
91.
Well, he's saying like
Pretty
have
good one,
the Mexico series run with
Mhm.
Xfinity and Cup.
Yeah,
that'd be kinda
get
cool.
Pato Award. He's Mexican, right? Maybe if
Yeah, but
IndyCar's
he's
not
gonna be
racing.
Busy.
I know, but IndyCar races like once every 2 months, so maybe he
Yeah,
could
I
try-
think they're kind of weird about any guys running NASCAR.
I think there's a
true, he wants
market
to do
there,
that.
though. I think that Mexican NASCAR series does okay. So I think there's people who would want to see the big dogs run. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think there's a market. I'm curious to see how much of a market compared to like a Formula One deal, but
and
I can see them selling plenty of tickets.
good for Zach. Kyle Busch's legal issues have been taken care of. So he's
Yeah,
good to go.
apparently so. I was, I don't know if
Yeah.
you saw, but I put in
Oh,
Discord. I was
he
like,
paid
boy,
up.
I hope they
Oh.
give out waivers for open warrants in foreign countries.
Good lord.
Yeah. He paid him off. It's all good
Oh,
now.
yeah. Hey,
Yeah,
real
right.
quick, speaking of F1, has Max Verstappen fallen off?
But
Yes.
the car's falling off.
Yeah, their car's
Yeah.
bad right now. But hey, go for Lando. Good for Lando. Getting another win.
Here
All
for
right.
it.
Points. Tyler Reddick leads the regular season by 17 points going into Darlington, the final race.
I thought
What
he
do
was
you
going
guys
to have a bigger lead.
Larson was running for points all race. He was up there at the end of the
Mhm.
stages.
Oh,
And
is Larson second?
Yeah.
yeah,
Larson second,
Wow.
Chase is third at 18 back. So it'll be
Whatever happened to Chase? Was he?
he got in that
like-
first wreck, I think.
I saw him go to the garage, but I never knew what happened to him.
That's what I didn't see. I didn't think I saw him in that wreck, but apparently he was. So
I think I saw him in it.
yeah. So I don't know. We know Reddick runs well here. We know Larson runs well here. Chase runs pretty good at Darlington, I believe.
he does, yeah.
It could be interesting. I think if you're Reddick, you have to run for points here. If you can lock that in, he goes from being fourth in points to being tied with Larson in first with playoff points. So that's huge in my mind. You know, going from 13 playoff points to 28. Yeah.
It's muy
It'll be a big deal.
Yep. And we already talked about the cut line a little bit. We have Chris Buescher plus 21, and then Bubba's minus 21, and Ross minus 27. Martin Truex all but locked in at plus 58, and Ty Gibbs plus 39. I think it's going to be tough for anybody to pass Buescher. But
I agree.
there's that chance we get a surprise winner. And then it's, can Buescher catch Gibbs? 18 points away.
I mean, don't forget, RFK won this race in the spring, so who knows what kind of speed Busch will show up with.
True.
Yeah. That would be, I don't know. That'd be good. I think Kyle Busch is going to probably show up too. How's
I
he
hope
at
so.
Darlington?
He's good.
Good. Okay. We'll see. It's an RCR car, so who knows?
That's the trick.
Yeah.
But good thing is, he's been finishing kind of well these last couple of weeks. So A, hopefully they have speed. B, that should mean he has like a better qualifying start. Like I forget how they get the qualifying selection works and all that stuff, but I remember hearing somewhere like bad weeks like compound themselves because then you get like bad qualifying and then you don't go out at an optimal time, so you don't get a good like the track doesn't rubber in or whatever by the time you go, and all this other nonsense that compounds. So hopefully this rebound leads to some good stuff happening.
Xfinity points, I think our picture is a little messed up, but we got Ryan Sieg. It says he's plus 15th and plus 15 and 11th. And then you have Parker plus 44 and 12th. So that doesn't make sense. And Sammy Smith minus 15 and 13th.
Mm-hmm.
So a little bit of a race for it there. What do we got left? Darlington, Kansas. What's in between there? Can't remember off the top of my head, but
I don't know.
Somewhere.
Yeah. Yep.
Atlanta. Atlanta's the next race.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Atlanta. Oh God, I was completely
Darlington,
wrong.
Atlanta.
Watkins
Yeah.
Glen, Bristol, Kansas. Ugh.
Hello.
Watkins Glen, though. I mean, you could see
That'll
a
be fun.
surprise winner.
Yeah. Well, they're
Easily.
apparently they're talking up the tire fall off for this Watkins Glen race, so we'll see.
Yeah, I believe want to see it.
I'm not. Yeah, same here.
All right, let's move on to kill count quick. Kyle Larson gets 1, Cindric gets 11, Kyle Busch gets 8, and we did not give Corey or anybody for that first big one.
Racing deal.
Because, yeah, I mean, yeah, pushing
Kind of hard to pin it on.
people that's pushing,
Either one.
and yeah, can't do
Pushing
that.
the pusher.
I mean, everybody was pushing each other, so it was just
Yeah.
that deal there. Survivor pool, Zach, it's all you.
We did not do so hot.
No, we did not.
Survivor pool. this
Simply
week.
did not.
Joe won with Eric Jones, who finished.
Hey, I'm
17th.
back.
17th.
And then the rest of
Nice.
us are in the 30s.
Yeah.
I had Justin Haley. I finished second with Haley, who finished 32nd, and Andrew had Stenhouse, who finished 33rd. They both got out in the same wreck, I'm assuming, and I just got lucky, and Haley got scored ahead, I suppose. And then Drake was last with Gregson, who finished 37th. So Daytona and Talladega are never very good to us.
Never good to us. That's for sure.
So, Mr. Drake, you're up first. Who you got?
Gonna go with Mr. Alex Bowman.
Bowman the Showman.
The showman, if you will.
I
Back.
called it 2 weeks ago. I'm sticking with Reddick.
Yeah, he's got momentum. It's a good pick. I'll go old Carson Hocevar.
Joe, who you got?
I am really scraping the bottom of the barrel here, but I'm going to go Mr. Silver Spoon himself, Austin Dillon.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Can't believe you're cheering for Austin Dillon this week, Joe.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do?
I mean, he's a big
And I
Kyle
guess
Busch
it-
fan, so he's got to root for his teammate.
That's true.
Fair. And I guess that means I get to reset our
Yeah, that's it.
board because this is it.
Are we doing points for wins? Because as it sits, Zach has 9 wins, Joe has 6, I have 6, and Austin has 4.
Yeah, we'll
On the
do
playoffs,
that.
though, still got wins. So
Yeah.
Zach, why is it not doing that? But yeah, so we'll do a little. So I mean, I can tell you score now. Right now, I have 73 points. Who's next? Andrew was 62, then Joe 61, and Drake was 54.
not my year.
Is great. You made a
hoping to-
decent comeback though.
I did. I
Yeah.
was a lot farther behind than that.
But
so-
because of playoffs, it don't matter.
exactly. Right back in it, baby. Underdog story.
Wait, I didn't think we reset.
We reset last year.
Yeah,
Did
we
we?
did.
Are you sure? All right.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure. I'm positive. 100% positive. And we should not. I know we did that last year. 1000%.
Darlington, what do you guys think? What are you looking for? What are you watching? Obviously, the regular season championship.
Yeah, regular season championship, just classic Darlington, Southern 500. I wish this was still throwback weekend. I hate that the spring race is.
I know.
The Trackhouse Ross Chastain throwback
That's
looks
sick.
good.
That is very nice. The Coors.
Is that actually a
Coors?
throwback or is that just like a retro style?
I think it's
scheme?
just
don't
It's
think
a throwback Coors.
Huh? Well, I like some Coors. Little banquet beer.
I don't recall that being a paint scheme. I just thought it was like a
Yeah, that was just retro looking. Myself.
just a retro design kind of thing. It's cool looking though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love night races, man. They're my favorite. We don't have enough.
Southern 500 is always amazing, and I hate I can't make it this year, but
What's the weather?
I'm checking right now. Darlington. Oh, hold on. Darlington. I can't spell Darlington. Shit.
We know.
There we go. Got it. All right. 10-day for Darlington. Friday. Looks like we should be good.
Sunday
Only
rain.
It's
Small,
30
small percent.
yeah.
40% chance, but it's the summer here in the Carolinas, so that could mean 0 or 100. So
That means
On
night rain.
Google,
Yeah.
I'm seeing isolated thunderstorms.
Late.
Like I don't know, 24% chance.
yeah, that's just summer here. That means nothing.
So I mean, Daytona looked really bad, and somehow it was fine. So we'll see how things go. It's still a little while till Sunday.
Yeah.
DraftKings gave up on trying to decide who's going to win. So Tyler Reddick, Kyle Larson, and Denny Hamlin are all the favorite to win.
Wow.
The same odds. They just said, fuck it. What's one of those guys? Let's look at the head-to-heads real quick. Harrison Burton, Carson Hocevar.
Hocevar.
Yeah.
Bar.
Easily Hocevar.
Mm-hmm.
Busher, Kyle Busch. Busher.
I'm
Maybe.
going to Kyle.
Busher.
Are the knower?
True.
Truex or Gibbs?
Ooh.
I'm going Gibbs.
Go Truex.
Yeah, I'm going Gibbs.
I think we're going to Gibbs too. Truex just finds a way to fuck up every week.
Yeah.
Like he's always fast, but it's just something happens.
Oh, man. Could you imagine him getting the win, though? And I mean, he's already in the playoffs, so it's like Gibbs. But
Is he locked in? I didn't look at the point.
yeah, he's 58 points up.
Yeah, it's a whole
So
race.
I think
he's locked in.
he's
That's
good.
2 points away from being a lock, right? I think you only have to be 60 points up. Isn't that what we said last week?
Yeah. Yeah, 60 points is most you can get. So he's pretty much in there.
Yeah.
Yep. Hamlin or Byron?
Byron.
Byron.
Hamlin.
And Bubba or Ross? I actually like that one a lot.
Bubba. I think Bubba's going to be pushing.
Ross.
I'm mixed on this one. Like, I think Bubba's gonna have the speed, but I think Bubba just makes too many mistakes, so I'd have to go Ross.
Yep.
All right. Zach, I know you had mentioned we had an OnlyFans. I don't remember what it was off the top of my head.
What? Did I? I don't remember
Yeah.
mentioning that.
You said last week, but we were kind of running out of time, so we moved on.
I thought we did do it.
No.
Well, then I don't know. I don't remember what it is.
Okay. Well,
I don't remember
Anybody
getting
else?
this OnlyFans.
yeah.
I thought we did
Anybody
one
else
last
got
week.
anything? No.
Or was that the week before I'm thinking of?
2 weeks ago we did it.
Yeah.
Oh, let's wrap this up, guys. Got anything else? Words of wisdom? Did you run some iRacing? I did. It was a fucking joke. I got second though.
I like how you said words of wisdom, and then did you run any of your iRacing? I don't.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything.
Words of
less
wisdom:
wise
don't run
than that.
iRacing.
Yeah.
I kind of want to
Especially
get back.
Daytona.
I kind of want to get back behind the wheel. I feel like I always want to run an iRacing race until I sit down and do one. I'm like,
Dude,
I
I
don't wanna do this.
I get excited to do it. I'm like, I want to race, and then I open up the schedule, and I look at the time slots, and I see like an hour for a race, and I look over at my wheel, and I say, no.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
100%.
no, I hopped in and I was like, hell yeah, Daytona. I love it. Didn't qualify like you normally do. And I started running. I was like, I'll drop to the back. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I don't run iRacing anymore. I'm going to the front. And I worked all the way up to the front. And I'm not lying. There was a girl racing and she was like literally asking people, like, is it okay if I run this line? And it's like, it's a race. You race, like go. And sure as shit, I get on the low line behind the guy. She goes to the high side, and she just turns down and wipes me out. And I'm like, fucking awesome. 5 laps into a race.
Women drivers, am I right?
Yeah. Like, so annoying.
Just kidding.
About to go a lap down. Caution comes out. Get the damage repaired. And I've made it. I actually led a bunch of laps. And then, got past the start and finish line. Kind of sucked, but whatevs. Good race.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Probably won't run in Darlington because I suck at it, but
Darlington's hard. I don't know. I'd like to do some more. I would like to race some stuff, but it's just getting the motivation to do it. Once I'm actually like sitting down and in the race, like I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah,
getting the motivation to actually go through with everything is difficult sometimes.
the only time I ever booted up is for super speedway races. So, Daytona, Talladega. My safety rating shows it. I have like a 1.45 now. It's like, oh,
Yikes.
Season's over soon. I do want to give them new hobby stocks.
I was going to say the hobby stocks look cool.
Them little 4-bangers.
they're free too, aren't they?
Yeah.
I want to run one at like Charlotte or something.
Daytona. Actually, I want to take one to the Nürburgring and rip it around. Like it looks like a little go-kart. It looks awesome.
That'd be fun. All right. Well, make sure to like, follow, subscribe, thumbs up, leave a comment. We'll be back next Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. or 9:30 Eastern, I should say.
Yes.
Yeah, with some Darlington recap. We're going to have the playoffs figured out by then. We'll probably have our playoff picks.
Yeah, we'll have to do that.
guys.
Yeah, we will.
So next week it'll be our
Does
next
anybody
week
know how
will
to
be
do
a big
that
episode.
tier maker thing? Do we want to do a tier maker?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how to do
make one.
those.
So yeah, till next week. See ya.
Bye.
See you. Bye.
I love you.
Hey, everyone. All right.
For frequency's sake, has you covered on all things sports. From the squared circle to the hardwood and the gridiron to the speedway, we've got something for everyone. Walk down the aisle with the boys from Cards Subject to Change every Sunday as they take a deep dive into everything pro wrestling. Head on over to the hardwood with Doug Green and Watching the W each week for all the news from the WNBA. Want more insight from Pit Row? Check out the Green, White, and Checkered podcast where they give their insight on everything happening on and off the track. Need your gambling fix? We've got you there. Dan Hancock and Gotham Gambling will help you cover the spread with the Golden Ticket Show. Football more your style? Explore the waters of NFL DFS with DFS Deep Dive with Brian Craighead and Jordan Kernan each week. More into the science portion of the game? The Professor John Bush and Dennis Michelson take you into their science lab and dissect your week in the data lab. Need to know who to start last minute? The network's flagship show, For Fantasy's Sake, is here in a pinch. The fellas come to you live every football Sunday from 10 to 11:30 Central with the week's best DFS, gambling, and lineup advice. And wrap up your Sundays with Joe Winkle and Nick Brinks as they come to you live with educated ignorance looking at all the day's action. Not enough football on Sunday? Not a problem. Kick your feet up at lunch on Monday and slip into the football lounge with Mark and Dan while they look at the week that was in news, notes, and more. For frequency's sake, you know what we mean.